Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Charles back with another video for BlackNBlueTV. When you guys get a chance, please like, share, and subscribe to the content because I'm coming out with more playoff reviews as well as off-season reviews too. Now, speaking of the off-season, my Cowboys are entering the off-season being eliminated yesterday by the 49ers 19-12. We don't need to relive that, but, there are brighter days ahead of us, fortunately. But I'd like to talk about the Giants. And for Giants fans out there, you guys should have your heads held high because number one, nobody expected you guys to make the playoffs, and number two, nobody expected you guys to beat the Vikings. I mean, of course there were rumblings, before that game that you guys had a potential chance to win, but, I didn't think anybody foresaw you guys actually winning. Now, unfortunately, you guys lost in the divisional round to the Philadelphia Eagles, but, you guys were kind of undermanned that game, and it really showed some of the key pieces that you guys were missing. But, let's not harp on that. Let's focus on the future for you guys. And, one of the best things about your Giants this year is that they have the third most cap space in the NFL at $56.9 million. Now, of course, you guys have free agents such as, Matt Breida, Saquon Barkley, Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton, Daniel Jones, and the list goes on. However, I think you guys will be able to retain a lot of those guys. Saquon, I think, will come back. You guys may have to franchise tag him. But also, too, I think Daniel Jones may come back, even though I want you guys to get a better quarterback, somebody that's able to throw the ball around. But in Daniel Jones' defense, he didn't really have anybody to throw to because Kenny Galladay was a dud. Also, you look at Sterling Shepard, he got hurt and was out for the season. So you guys didn't really have any weapons. Now, when I look into the future, I think that you guys are going to be able to get, a premier player in free agency. Maybe a DeAndre Hopkins or something along those lines. But really, I want you guys to focus on the draft because there are a lot of good pieces that are going to be coming out. I think that you guys need to fill a lot of areas, especially on that offensive line, that left guard, the center, and also the right guard position, because that was pretty inconsistent for you guys this year. And to fairness to Daniel Jones, he didn't get a lot of time throwing the football. And also, he didn't have a lot of time throwing the football to the key receivers that were needed to make plays. Also, it's going to help Saquon Barkley as well, because you have to understand, Saquon Barkley had a great year without the best line. So imagine if Saquon Barkley has a better line, he's going to be able to produce more. And also, too, you're going to have better quarterback play because the quarterback is going to be protected. When I go into the defense, I look at that cornerback position, and I think that's a dire need in the draft. Now, you guys could get some people in the free agency, but, I think Dabo is going to draft, a guy that he sees fit for that particular position, being able to cultivate him and making him the person that he needs to be in order to make plays effectively for the defense. Now, I also think that you guys do need linebackers. Linebacker play was inconsistent this year, and when you have Jalen Smith as your starting middle linebacker, he's pretty much over the hill. He's tackling people 5 to 6 yards down the field. He's not headhunting like he used to be. And also, too, I think that injury out of college has really hindered him because, remember, the Cowboys drafted him and shelved him for about a season and a half before we were able to see what he could do. And of course, that was the best thing we did. That was the best thing we were able to do in getting rid of Jalen Smith because, I think he didn't overstay his welcome. He just wasn't producing as a Cowboy. Now, maybe you guys might keep him around, for maybe backup purposes, but I think the middle linebacker position is a definite need for you guys. Also, too, I think you guys need another pass rusher to help out Kayvon Thibodeau. When you guys have two young pass rushers that are able to get to the quarterback, that defense is pretty much going to be elite. Now, for the cornerback position, I think you guys need to draft 2 cornerbacks because, your guys' starters aren't really that good in my opinion. They were getting burned a lot this year. They gave up timely touchdowns. They weren't able to get stops when needed, and the list goes on. But for the Giants, I think the future is bright because Dabo has definitely created a culture in New York, that's going to be very competitive in the NFC East for years to come. I think that was a great hire by you guys. It kind of reminds me of, like, the Coughlin era, because Coughlin took no nonsense. Even though people say, oh, well, he's old, this, that, and the third. Well, last time I checked, Coughlin was able to win 2 Super Bowls and beat, the Patriots, who were the juggernaut of the NFL during that time. And Brian Daboll kind of has that culture, and he's slowly building it. He holds his players accountable. He really wants to win. And the best part about it is that, Brian Daboll, and it pains me to say this, but Brian Daboll is definitely a great coach, and I thought that he should have been eligible for Coach of the Year. Pretty much working with what he has and being able to make the postseason. It's really hard to do when you don't have the pieces that you want, and you pretty much like trying to game plan the rest of the season because your receiver, who's making $70 million, can't catch a pass or can't get open and can't even run a route. So I don't think Daboll anticipated Kenny Golladay being such a dud. But I think the horizon is bright for you guys, and honestly, I think you guys are going to make some noise in the NFC East. And I'm going to make this prediction again. I think that 3 NFC East teams are going to make the playoffs again next year. People want to say the NFC East is the NFC least, but I beg to differ. The NFC East is one of the toughest conferences, toughest divisions in football. It's called the Black and Blue Division for a reason. Hence, that's the reason why I named my channel BlackNBlueTV, because, I think that the NFC East has definitely been, slided a little bit. We've had some down years, but this year has been the best year. Like three out of the 4 teams were able to make the playoffs this year. And not only that, 3 teams were able to make it to the divisional round this year. So I think it's going to be a bright spot for the NFC East, and I think a lot of teams are on the rise, including the New York Giants. I just wanted to do a short video on you guys. I wish you guys the best this offseason. I hope you guys are able to draft well. And then, here comes training camp. So, we're going to see what happens over the next few weeks, see if the Giants make any coaching changes, also any player personnel changes as well, and, see what they do, because I believe they have 11 picks. I'm not sure. I think they have 4 in the first 2 rounds, if I'm not mistaken. So, you guys definitely have, a lot of upside to your future. And, I think it's in the right hands of Brian Daboll. But, that's all I have for you guys tonight. And, be on the lookout for more videos. Be on the lookout for more reviews of the offseason, as well as playoff football. And in the next few days, I will be doing reviews of the AFC and NFC championships, because I think those games are going to be very great. You have the 49ers going up to Lincoln Financial to play the Eagles, pretty much like the #1 offense against the #1 defense. And then we have the Bengals against the Chiefs. So, it's a rematch of last year's AFC championship. So, we're going to see how Joe Burrow plays, in Arrowhead again, if he's able to pull it off. But, I'm curious to see. But anyways, guys, you guys have a great day, and that's it.